Hey guys, Brad Gilmore here. Want to give a big shout out to our title sponsor, Walker Texas Lawyer. If you or a loved one have been injured in an accident, whether that be a car, truck, motorcycle accident, or some kind of other issue, hit up Walker Texas Lawyer at 713-552-1117 or walkertexaslawyer.com.
Oh, Brad, what have you done now?
Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Matthew McConaughey.
Brad Gilmore.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The legendary Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. Great introduction.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
Kelly Ripa.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Comedy.
Jay Leno joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
Chris Tucker is in the building. Chris Tucker, good morning to you.
Hey, Brad. Good morning to you. How are you?
Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias.
Good morning.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The legendary frontman of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, joins us right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good morning, Brad. What looking to talk to me funny, lad.
Grammy Award winner Maya joins us.
How are you?
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, The Boat.
Brad Gilmore! Well, Hairspray, the iconic production, is going to be coming to Houston at the Hobby Center from June the 4th through the 9th. Tickets are available right now, and joining us is one of the stars of the show, playing the character that you know as Tracy Turnblad. It is the incomparable Miss Caroline Eiseman. Caroline, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Look, first of all, congratulations on being part of such a historic production as Hairspray. What can people here in the city expect to see when they come to see you and the rest of the cast on stage June the 4th through the 9th?
Yeah, it's the story you know and love, the original John Waters movie that was turned into a musical. And we're still doing the iconic choreography by Jerry Mitchell and the direction by Jack O'Brien, but we're bringing a fresh 2024 look to it.
So, like, when you take on a role such as this one, actually, first, before I even get there, how did you become involved in this production?
Yeah, I went to college for musical theater. I went to Belmont University, Nashville, Tennessee. I got my BFA. And I knew from a very young age that this was what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And about 2 months after I graduated in 2022, I saw an audition submission for an understudy for Tracy on the national tour. And I was like, oh my God. Dream role, dream life, dream check. I got to do it. So I auditioned and I booked the job, and I spent the last year touring as the standby for Tracy. So I did it once a week. And then this year I had the honor of taking over the role full time.
So when you said you knew you wanted to do acting, was it from a theatrical standpoint, or was it any kind of acting, whether it be on camera or on the stage?
You know, I'll say I never will rule anything out for the future of my life, but I have been a live theater baby since I was 6 years old. I've been singing, dancing, acting ever since. My parents, I don't think, really knew what to do with me. But they
don't realize it, right? The live performance, you have that instant reaction from the audience. You can tell immediately all the blood, sweat, and tears and months of rehearsals. You get that instant feedback that you're looking for.
Absolutely. Live theater has this electricity to it. It's kind of like a rush. I can't even explain it. It's like the coolest thing, and getting to do it for a job is the greatest gift. I am so lucky.
So, okay, now when you're doing a show like Hairspray that people have loved for generations, and that's not even an overstatement. People have loved this show for decades upon decades. There's been theatrical versions in movie theaters. There's been so many stage productions of it. Does it taking on this role come with, I don't know, a bit extra pressure than a normal role, or is it comparable to anything?
That's a really good question. I think any role has this kind of weight at this, this level, the honor of being on a national tour. I could be playing anything. I could be in the ensemble. I would say our whole company makes this machine run. But Tracy has been played by some very incredible people. And I've said, taking on this role has been kind of like joining this elite group of women. I've had the honor of meeting some of the original Tracys. I got to meet Ricky Lake last year. I got to meet Marissa Jarrett Winokur, who originated the role on Broadway, and just so many people who have been touched by Tracy and changed by Tracy. And I think that less of a weight, but more of an honor is how it has been for the last 2 years.
Now, when you go on a tour with a show, maybe you do 12 weeks in Broadway. I'm not sure exactly how this one was set up, but, instead of people coming to you, you're going to the people. And do you find that there are different reactions to different parts of the show in different cities?
Yes. Oh my gosh, you've got all the best questions.
Okay.
Yes, we really do have such a regional story. Like, I mean, everybody's going to connect with it. It is a American story. But there are some jokes that, some people get really well, some jokes that kind of like fall flat some nights. But I do find that, every night, every audience is up on their feet for You Can't Stop the Beat at the end. And at the end, I get to say, come on. And I get to shout out the city that we're in. And I find that is so exciting, inviting these local communities in to finish the show with us really brings it full circle.
There's something about when people hear the name of their city, right? Like, it's almost like they're saying it directly to you. It's almost like they're saying my name when you say Houston or what have you, right?
It totally is. And it's like, I have been so grateful to spend a year, 2 years now on the road and seeing places I don't know that like I would ever be at the age I am. And so I think it's an honor to be a part of these communities for a week. And so getting to share the joy of the show with them is really amazing.
Again, Hairspray is going to be here in Houston, June the 4th through the 9th at the Hobby Center. Tickets available right now at thehobbycenter.org or at Broadway at thehobbycenter.com. Now, tell me, where's home originally for you?
I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri.
St. Louis, Missouri. Okay. Now, what was the thing when you were young that was the seed that was planted that you said, okay, this is interesting? Maybe you didn't know then you wanted to be a theatrical actress, but something you were finding some kind of romance in the art form. Where was the genesis there?
I am the oldest child, and there is no history of theater in my family, but I kind of was doing all the activities, as you do. I was 6 years old when I did my first show. It was a community theater production of Big the Musical, which is so random.
Yeah.
But I caught the bug early on, and my parents said, all right, you want to do more? Let's do more. And I was dancing and I was taking voice lessons and I was involved in every single theatrical production I could. St. Louis is a huge theater town. And it just never stopped. I never stopped loving it. And I just wanted it more and more. And when I was 16, I was like, hey, mom and dad, this is going to be the rest of my life. And my dad was like, what about a double major? What about like a business major? And I was like, not going to happen. But he did say to me a couple months ago when he came and saw the show again, he was like, thank God we listened to what you said. We trusted your lead because it's become such a gift.
Wow. How validating must that have been,
So amazing.
My nephew is in the theater program in his high school, and he's 6'5". He's like 240. He could easily be. Yeah, I know. He could easily be a football player. And being from Texas, you would think that he would be.
Yeah.
But what I love about the theater programs, and maybe you could speak to this, is it does the same thing that for me, sports did at a young age. It does the same thing in theater where it teaches you this teamwork makes the dream work mentality, respecting every part of a production, because of course the actors get the spotlight quite literally, but the sound guys, the techs, the key, everybody who's involved in the production, they all have to work. What is the phrase? Think collectively, but act singularly. Right?
Absolutely. That's a great phrase. Yeah.
And speak to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to a musical theater program. I studied musical theater in college. And when you're a freshman, they don't let you perform for the first year that you're there. They say you are doing tech, you are working choreography, you are learning about what makes a production so that you can appreciate it. And I will say we have long days on the road. We have thankless days on the road, and being able to appreciate what everybody in the building is doing and know what their days look like is such a gift, because otherwise it would just be, it would feel very disconnected. But I feel we travel with a company of 60 people between actors on stage and crew members off stage and band members and management. And I think in order for the show to work every night in every city that we go to, we have to be one cohesive unit. If we're not, it's just not going to work. It's not going to happen. And so I would like to say we at Hairspray are a cohesive unit, and it's because we all appreciate what each other are doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It makes it better. So I'm such a process person. I love to hear what the mentality is, whether it be game day or show day, what people go through, because we all have rituals, right? Before I do something like this, I have my little rituals that I do. So what is your game day or show day ritual before you go out there on the stage?
Okay. Yeah, it's I used to only do it once a week, and so it felt very much more superstitious. It's eased into my body a little bit by now.
Okay.
But I do have a couple things I still do. I have, like high fives with crew members off stage that happen at specific moments in the show I've got to get. Every Sunday matinee, my mom and I FaceTime 5 minutes before the show, and she sees me all in my costume. And then at the top of the show, I start in this set piece that's a stand-up bed. So when the lights come up on me, it looks like I'm asleep in bed. And when it's ready for them to tuck me in, a stage manager tucks me into bed every night. I go around the stage and I say to everybody, "Good night, everybody." And everybody says, "Good night, Tracy." And so they all, tell me good night. They tuck me in, and then I wake the show up with "Good Morning, Baltimore."
There you go. There you go. I love it. I love the ritual. So again, Hairspray is going to be here June the 4th through the 9th. You can see Caroline and the rest of the cast here at the Hobby Center. Tickets available at thehobbycenter.org or Broadway at thehobbycenter.com. Last question. I'll leave it up to you. What's your favorite part of the show?
My favorite part to sing currently is Welcome to the 60s. It is full of life, full of light, full of love and color. And I think it's just like pinnacle Hairspray. But my favorite part of the show to be a part of is I Know Where I've Been. It's the 11 o'clock number. Miss Motormouth Maybelle sings to the kids around her on stage. And I get to be on stage for it, but I don't sing in it. And so I get to watch every member of the cast around me give the performance of the night. And I will never, ever take that moment for granted.
Okay, well, we cannot wait for it to come here to Houston. I can't wait to see Hairspray for the first time myself. I'm such a theater geek, so I'm going to really enjoy this production. And it was a lovely getting the chance to talk to you, and congratulations on all your success.
Thank you so much. We'll see you soon, Houston.
Yes.